How's it going, Pat?
Good. It's a beautiful day.
Where are we? What are we doing?
This is Tumultuous Overlook by Mosier, Oregon, over the Columbia River.
We're going to do some hiking today. That's what today's vlog is going to be. We're going to go to 3 places, if all is as planned, right? 3.
We can do 3, 4. Depends
as many as we need.
Spend at each one.
We're at the Columbia Gorge, kind of similar, down river, upriver from where we last were.
Yeah,
upriver. That was a nice little drone flight. We're gonna have a nice day of exploring this area in a bunch of different places. We thought it was gonna rain today. It might rain later. It's supposed to rain later, but so far so good.
Battery pack and put it on the floor in the shade.
All right. What mountain is that one in the distance?
Mount Adams. It's in Washington.
Mount Adams. That could be a nice ski from the top.
Mount Adams is all in the National Forest, wilderness areas and stuff like that. There's no facilities whatsoever over there.
You're on your own.
I thought we'd walk over here and look at the overlook. And,
okay.
The hike we're going on is up that way. Get a little bigger view of things.
Cool. Yeah, Pat was saying, and it's very obvious, that the terrain here and the terrain at Multnomah downstream is different. This is much more like, I don't know, not tundra, but like desolate.
It's drier here.
It is drier.
Well, are those pylons? Was that land? That must have been land at some point in time.
Who knows what they had out there, some kind of docks or whatnot. The free-flowing river was down in the dark green part, and when they dammed it and brought it up, it flooded all these other things.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we're headed way up there, eh?
Yeah.
It's kind of a beautiful winding road there. I see that. I just want to get on the trike and ride. Get on the trikes and ride! Get on your bikes and ride! Whoever wrote these plaques are eloquent. Down upon the graceful, winding, historic Columbia River Highway, it's easy to forget how challenging its construction was in the early 20th century. One of the first modern paved thoroughfares in the Pacific Northwest, it traversed a rugged landscape. Somebody shot it. That's got to be some sort of, maybe not bullet hole, but somebody hit it with something.
Somebody hit it, and from an angle too.
Yeah. Worn, water leveled? No, that's not born. Rugged landscape from
water level to breathtaking heights above the river.
It traversed rugged landscape from water level to breathtaking heights above the river.
Yeah, it'll be poison oak, but it shouldn't be too active.
You ever had poison oak?
I have.
How bad?
Never really bad, but it burns.
Yeah, it's not fun. I had poison oak between my fingers, so much so I couldn't put my fingers together. Like I had webbed fingers.
Ooh,
because it had built up between the crooks of my. I don't know what I must have grabbed it at some point in time, and the vines or whatever must have went through the crook of my fingers. It wasn't fun.
Some friends of ours had some property out in the country, and their neighbor bulldozed a bunch of stuff up and burned it, and there was a bunch of poison oak in it, and the cloud damn near killed them.
Burned poison oak?
Burned poison oak, and the cloud wafted over their house.
Oh my God! I didn't know. I would have thought that once you burn it, it nullifies the poison.
It's incomplete combustion. So.
Yikes!
And,
so this is our trail.
Yeah.
Starting here. I'm gonna wind up. This might be fun here, and these will be fun here. So it's got two big sections here. This is a vertical, probably. This is a vertical, probably. Yeah. And then this is some sort of a step. Pat was saying that there's a How big are these rocks?
They vary in size from, you know,
Refrigerator.
little ones up to,
Oh.
you know, the size of a washing machine or something.
Okay. They're called erratics because they're erratically carried from Idaho? Montana.
From Montana, yeah.
Holy moly.
And the last ice age was
Yeah.
15, 20,000.
Was the
years
last
ago.
ice age that recent?
Yeah.
Wow, my brain would have said that they were hundreds of thousands of years ago, but these rocks were carried from Montana on the backs of these glaciers, or inside these glaciers.
Well, and icebergs that broke off of the glaciers
Yeah.
and came down with the floods.
These floods that came through here were massive in scale, like 1,000 feet tall.
1,000 feet deep, yeah.
It's crazy.
And they only lasted like a week at a time or something, they figured. Had 500
Wow.
cubic miles of water.
Moving in a week?
Yeah, 500 cubic miles of water coming through here in a week.
Holy moly.
Can you imagine the sound of that?
Jeez. Think about all the momentous things that have happened in our history that we never witnessed, we never heard. I think about the Tunguska incident.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
That would have been a wild one
to
to
see that.
be at a safe distance. I don't know what safe distance you need to be, but...
Well, we've got a few little flowers going here. This is quite the little purple carpet there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I bet it gets much better though, hey?
Oh, yeah, later in the
spring.
Right across the river there, it's that kind of big wide open expanse. I can see my mountains a little more.
Yeah.
That's a natural area with lots of flowers, and it's very popular in the springtime. And the last times I was there with my friend Phil, the sheriff was busy writing tickets because people were parked all over the road.
Taking pictures or hiking?
For hiking, because the parking area was overflowing and they were you know, parking over the white line on the road and stuff like that. And
sorry, I'm gonna get your picture.
Oh yeah, don't shade me, man. Ever tell you about the fun thing they do with high schoolers in the Netherlands?
In the Netherlands? No.
Apparently one of the big popular things to do for graduating classes is everybody gathers together. People get on buses with blacked out windows in the middle of the night, and they take the kids in groups of 2 and they just randomly drop them off. And everybody has to find their way back to the high school, and it's a big party when you get back.
Is it a high school thing, or is it a senior thing?
It's
or?
like a high school level thing. I think it's probably senior sort of stuff. But could you imagine doing that in the United States, where you drop kids randomly off in the middle of nowhere and they have to find their way back in the middle of the night? Quite a different approach to.
There's a lot of different approaches to doing things. Like parents are like, "You're not dropping my kid off in the middle of nowhere,"
and the kid's going, "Oh man, I want the challenge."
Pat was saying that there's some spaces in the Netherlands called Stiltegebieds. Did I say it right?
Stiltegebied.
Stiltegebied. There's a T and a G that doesn't seem like it should be next to each other. Stiltegebied.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a place where there's absolutely no outside noise interference, right? It's a truly quiet place.
It's a quiet place.
It's a quiet place.
You can't hear human activity generally.
Yeah. Stiltegebied. This area used to be more shallow until they started damming it up, and then it sort of filled up a little bit.
Free-flowing river.
Yeah.
There, and now it's
dammed up. Controlled.
The pools behind the dams almost touch each other. So the pool from the Bonneville Dam is backing up here almost to the Dalles, and then there's the Dalles Dam, and then it backs up to the Chutes Dam.
Wow.
So they've pretty much optimized how much power they can get out of the river by doing that.
So what is that? That's Mount
Hood.
Mount Hood. Oh, that's Mount Hood.
Yeah. The other side of Mount Hood.
And then that guy.
Mount Adams.
Mount Adams. With wearing a little hat. Can't see.
Yeah, Mount St. Helens is
I think Mount St. Helens is in the fog, right?
Yeah, and there's clouds and haze. Riding along here, and you get to a town called the Dalles.
The Dalles?
The Dalles.
Dalles.
D-A-L-L-E-S. Dalles. Okay. The Dalles. And it's supposed to be some bastardized French thing. Then at the Dalles, we can cross the river and go on the other side and do some noodling around. And there's a canyon right over there on the Klickitat that it's amazing. It's like, I don't know, it seems like it's 20 feet wide and 100 feet deep, and the river's just whooshing through there. Wow. The native people have like fishing platforms and stuff on there.
Oh.
And they're down there.
Oh, really?
Dipping salmon out. I don't know that there's a run.
So about 17 million years ago, long time ago, this whole area was really, really volcanic. There was like 300 lava flows that spanned like about 100,000 square miles. And just think about where we're standing. It just lava flows. So much so, this area, there was no gorge here. It was just flat. So think about that area joining with this area and there being no valley in between. It was just lava upon lava. As a matter of fact, if you look on the other side of the river here, the Columbia River, you can see it doesn't look like much from here because we're far away, but these are 100 feet slices of the lava that have been worn away. And it's a question of how it's been worn away. Well, about 15,000 years ago, we were in an ice age in this area. And upriver, quite a distance, there was a glacier or an iceberg, and it dammed up the river. And so way up, it would dam up the river, and about 100 times in recorded, well, not recorded, but about 100 times is the estimate, the glacier would shift or things would break down, and it would release a torrent of water. And that torrent of water at places was like 500 feet tall, if not narrowing into like this area is pretty narrow, so as it would narrow in, it would get taller, and so you might have the water just sloshing all the way up. We're at about 1,000 feet up, so it could have came all the way up, and so this torrent of water 100 times would wash through here, and it would be through here within a very, very short amount of time. So we're talking a lot of water really, really quick. And that water is carrying all sorts of stuff with it, sediment and all sorts of power, basically just building power. So it carved over time this river basin, this valley, just the sheer strength of a 500-foot wall of just massive water just bullying its way through what was like probably a crevasse in the lava flows, because like plate tectonics would move around and like shift it around, and so it probably broke apart, created a little crevasse, and then this water would just obliterate it over and over and over and over, and over time you have like this amazing valley. It's just the sheer enormity of time is one thing, like 17 million years, but when you really think about it, 17,000 years, that's not that long ago. 17,000 years. There were people around, you know what I mean? Could you imagine standing here witnessing, like seeing it, oh, here it comes, and you're watching this just, well, you'd probably be running your ass up the hill, but having it come across, just think about the devastation that would be reaped, you reap, right? Not reek is smelly. You'd reap, you reap what you sow. Anyways, yeah, pretty crazy. Let me talk a little bit about something. Pat was telling me that I'm in a really, really beautiful part of the world, and it's sort of a shame that I'm not exploring it more. I'm building this van, and the intention is to use this van to travel around the world and tell stories with and do all sorts of interesting experiences that can not only broaden my horizons, but broaden your horizons as well. And he's like, you know, your van isn't finished, but it doesn't mean that you don't have to use it to roam around. So yeah, would you guys like that? I think maybe I'm gonna start implementing some more travels and whatnot so I can move around and witness some of the beauty here in Washington and Oregon. If you have any ideas for unique places, put them in the description. Pat's got a whole bunch of ideas for me. But yeah, let me know. I have been a bit sedentary. Beautiful day.
Awesome day.
What time is it?
It's like 1 o'clock.
It's about 12, quarter after 12. I don't see any sign of rain. There's some clouds here on the horizon, but
Yeah,
they'll work their way in.
they'll get here. I have confidence.
We had some lunch. We're gonna head back and mosey on down. It'll be fun. Yeah, you could tell which direction the wind normally goes because everything on this tree is pointed this way. Interesting. Blowing pretty hard normally, I guess. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. Beautiful day for a hike.
We're almost to the top.
Oh, okay. We'll wave at it.
See right there?
Did we wave?
I didn't wave.
Mount Adams hat flew off.
To
Look
go
at
up like that.
Look at that little edge there. That's a deer path. They use that to head down the hill. That's crazy. Pretty vertical. Every time I see a windy road like that, I always think, that'd be nice to cycle that road. That would be a nice road to just fly down. Right over here on the water side is a Google data center. So if you ran a search for butterflies or something,
Maybe you watched a Matt video.
or you watched one of my videos, yeah, that's true. That's right. All of my stuff's on a Google server somewhere.
You don't know where that's somewhere.
You don't
is.
know. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Wow. It's so funny that I didn't even. You had to tell me that. You had to give me that realization.
Some of your Gmail baby spinning around at 7,200 RPM on some drive over there.
That's crazy. I guess they have cheap electricity prices, and so they built the center here because
Cheap cooling.
and cheap cooling. Yeah. So it's the weather is good.
Oh, the river.
It's dry. Oh yeah. Okay. So they're pulling water from the river to cool the data center.
So yeah.
Oh, that's wild. Damn, it's a dam.
The Dalles Dam.
You should have seen that Three Gorges dam.
Oh yeah, I'd love to go see that.
Calling me, like the rainbow. It's calling me, like the rainbow. The rainbow.
All right, Pat, where are we at now?
This is the Klickitat River Trail in Washington, and we're a couple miles from the mouth of the Klickitat. And we're going to go up that way to look at this canyon where it gets
All right.
deeper and steeper. This used to be a railroad grade.
Taking the cat for a walk.
She comes with me on all of the hikes.
What's your name? What's your name?
Sarah.
Can I pet her?
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
We were out at Wakala yesterday and she was getting a lot of attention.
Oh, I bet. You see dogs, but I don't see many cats. Stop the spread of New Zealand mud snails. Stop the spread. Stop the spread. Check your gear. Do you know about the New Zealand mud snails?
I do now.
I'm gonna have a food zone then.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, cool. There's one of the platforms, eh? Couple.
But if you fell in that, you would just get Maytagged all the way down until the next time that it flattened out, which is pretty far.
Yeah. Did you say Maytagged?
Maytag.
Like washed, like a washing machine, Maytag?
Yeah, that's.
I've never heard that.
The river rafter people call it getting dumped out of the raft and tumbled down the rapids. It's getting Maytag.
That's funny. I mean, it's not funny. It's tragic. Can I see if I can get onto that rock? And they're catching salmon?
Salmon, yeah.
Oh, speaking of, you can smell it. We found some. That's a pretty big catch to just leave there. Doesn't look like they've been filleted at all. That's weird. What is the story behind that pile of... That fish is not... If you could smell what I smell, you probably would not be standing where I'm standing. So the reason this is good fishing is because it's very narrow. Pat was describing it like a bottleneck, so the water comes down, it's a little bit wide here, but at a certain point it's so narrow. I mean, you can extend a net and pretty much get across the entire width of the river. So every fish in the entire river has to pass through a pretty narrow opening, and you can get pretty successful with it. Apparently a little too successful. So successful you gotta leave them down there. Nice fresh salmon, must taste pretty good though, as long as it's not too tired, you know, and it hasn't started decaying yet. Oh my God, look! That's a whole cooler. There's tons of salmon in there.
What a waste.
What a waste!
That is crazy.
That's nuts. Is that a phone number on the side? I had seen that cooler when we were walking down, and I was like, I thought it was a bunch of like dirty clothes coming out or something, like a jacket. Hold on, I'll go get the car. And then they never saw Bill again. Yeah, that's just super stinky. That's just skinned fish there. Ooh, that is ripe. Yeesh. You want some fresh fish there, Pat? Native caught. They got a cooler full of them right up the stream. All right, Pat, what's next? It went from blue sky to, it looks like some rain might be on the horizon eventually, which would be what we all expected.
Yeah.
So this morning was a pleasant surprise. We're driving through White Salmon, Washington. So many different places to live, so many different stories. Every single business here was opened by somebody with a dream. You know, how many just talks did people go through in order to start that live well, eat well cafe, you know?
You think about it that way, it's like, that's a lot of...
You know what I mean?
A lot of person hours.
Oh my gosh. Honey, I think we should open a cafe. Oh, I don't know. Where are we going to do it? There's a spot that opened up on Main Street.
And how many meetings with bankers?
Oh
and
my
builders
gosh.
And employees and, yeah.
Everything, even these houses, every house you see, there was a renovations, building, location, family. I got to move away from the house. What about grandma? She's getting sick. Well, can we add a place on so that she can live there? I mean, think of all these, and we always internalize our own lives, right? As like, oh, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, but everybody's going through something. All right, Pat, thanks, man.
Yeah.
That was a nice day.
Seems like a different day already.
It feels like a totally different
feeling
day.
A little bit of sunburn on my neck and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
From what? From what? From what sun? All right, boss.
Anyway,
take it easy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That was a fun day. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm serious, though. If you guys think that there's interesting places to visit, I would like to start venturing around and seeing some more of this place and not just 100% sitting working on vans. It's fun and everything, but I think I need a little bit more nature in my life. Take it easy, guys. Jayoe. Bye-bye.